Mrs. Sullivan here with second and third grades first assignment for week 3. It is to take your balloon from last week and make up some kind of a game. I hid my balloon away so that no one else would touch it or play with it or pop it in hopes that it would still be here this week, and here it is. The game I made this week is called Balloon Paper Pass, and I wrote it all up here on my whiteboard. It might be a little bit hard for you to see through the screen. I'll read it quickly to you. First, I wrote out my equipment. It says I need 1 balloon and 1 piece of paper per person. You can play this on your own or with as many people as are safely in your home right now. Everybody would need their own piece of paper. You can just rip one right out of a notebook, or if you can't find a piece of paper, a paper towel or a napkin might work as well. The rules. The balloon can only be touched with the paper, except when you're serving it. To get it started, you'd have to hit the balloon up in the air. And only 1 pass per person, meaning that another player has to touch the balloon again before you can touch it. So the gameplay is that each player holds their own paper with 2 hands. And the game starts while one player tosses the balloon in the air. You should then use your paper to keep the balloon in the air. Score 1 point each time you hit the balloon. You lose all your points if you hit the balloon more than 1 time in a row, or if you touch the balloon with your body. The game resets at 0 if the balloon gets dropped on the floor. Everybody gets 0. Everybody loses all of their points, doesn't matter who dropped the balloon. Single player game, you could play for 1 minute and score 1 point for each hit. Or if you're playing with 2 players, you could make a line on the floor with a towel or a piece of string or even a flattened out sweatshirt, something that you could just put safely on the floor to make a line, and you can pass across it, pretend it's like a net, and make your passes with 2 people across. A multiplayer game, the extra rule is that you can't get in the way of another player's chance. So after you hit it, you have to back off so that the other player gets a chance. So I'm going to go practice first before I challenge anybody in my house to the game. That's a great idea. Get your paper, get your balloon, and practice first so you know how to play and you're better at it. And then go ahead and challenge somebody else. Tell them all of the rules. When you make up your game, make sure you write it all down on a piece of paper. You can send me a picture of that piece of paper either through an email or your class dojo, or 3rd graders can use Google Classroom. Send me that picture and then tell me all about how you played your game. Thanks. I am all set for my balloon paper pass game. I have my music iPod with a 1-minute timer going. I have my balloon and I have my piece of paper. So I'm going to press my timer and let's see how many points I can get in 1 minute. Let's call this take 2. I lost my balloon over the sofa. I'm going to start my timer for 1 minute. I've got my piece of paper and my balloon. Here we go. Okay, so I still have 20 seconds left. I think I got to 32 hits, but I lost my balloon over the back of the sofa. You can try it multiple times. You could make your time shorter or longer. I'm going to go see if I can find someone else to play with. I found my daughter. She's going to come play with us. This is Maggie. And I found some other papers. I thought that if you were playing with somebody who wasn't as good as you, if you found a harder piece of paper, this is called cardstock, this might work. Or maybe a bigger piece of paper for somebody to use would make things a little bit easier. So more of a challenge if you have a smaller piece of paper. So I'm going to use this small pink piece of paper. I'm going to let Maggie pick her paper, and we're going to give it a little try. All righty, Maggie? I'm going to serve the ball first, and we'll go back and forth. We get 1 point each time we hit it. Here we go. No! We lost it. We can't hit it 2 times in a row. If you hit it 2 times in a row, you lose all your points. have to make sure the other person gets to hit it. Here we go. Oh no, I lost it again. Ceiling interference. I think we're both at 0 now. Okay, why don't you get a turn to serve? There's a dog in the way. Oh, God. We both got 0 points because it hit the ground. So that's how you could play with 2 people. Same idea if you had even more. You can choose different kinds of paper to help figure it out.